repente no hago más que dibujar este símbolo y no sé qué es. Creo que me estoy volviendo loca, Simon.
Era ufológicamente razonable.
Dios, esto me está pasando.
¿El qué?
No es real.
Ahora me estás acojonando. Clarice, estás...
I don't want to say specifically if there is anything because I don't want it to taint your expectation of the film. But I think for me what was so great is that it truly mirrored what I imagined in my head. The sets were as epic as it felt in the books.
I think one of the main things they did with the film was they aged up the characters. They went from being, you know, an age of like 15 to 17 to being more like early 20s, so that I think they could explore the love, the romance of the thing a little bit more between this character, that character, and this character. Also, I think the film is a very, very dark and somewhat macabre adaptation of the books. You know, I think the Shadowhunters are this quite dark, quite gothic race, whereas in the books, you know, I think Jace is more kind of footloose and fancy-free.
River Phoenix was a huge inspiration for the character of Jace. So for me, I'm honoured that you can hear that and that you can see that, and that's great. I made a mood board. I had River Phoenix, James Hetfield, you know, Kurt Cobain, Johnny Depp, Heath Ledger. So I'd go into my trailer every day and look at those people.
Yeah, that's what I like so much about the movie is that it's not one particular genre. It's funny, dramatic, there's romance, there's action. It's kind of everything combined. And it deals very much in a fantasy and a reality world where this young girl is finding her voice as a young teenager, but also as a shadow hunter. And I think many, many people can relate to it.
Los demonios existen en todo el mundo, adoptando diferentes formas. Los cazadores de sombras no se adhieren a ninguna religión, y a cambio todas las religiones nos ayudan en la batalla. Podríamos haber ido a una sinagoga judía o a un templo sintoísta.
I think, you know, I always been aware of the fact that with any adaptation there's going to be a preconceived idea of who the characters are. They're loved characters. 22 million copies of this book have been sold. I'm aware of that. I have to, as an actor, embody what it is that I believe the character to be and also try and please those people as well. But until they see the movie, their judgment or their sort of opinions don't really have any weight, let's say.
There was one thing that Harald Zwart, our Capitan, our director, wanted, was that he did not want Clary to be a damsel in distress. He didn't want her to be constantly upset and, you know, unable to deal with the world. So I think what was important was to definitely have those moments where she's strong and she's able to digest the world with some comedy, and you know, my character as well is trying to digest this very crazy, very dark world through some level of comedy, you know.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting as well that romance is not the focus because so many other teen franchises have done that. Clary is after her mom who's been kidnapped, and to me, being so close with my mom, I would imagine that I would do exactly what Clary did. And I think it shows the strength in a young girl not to be focused on the men that come into the story. It's how she maneuvers around those issues and still focuses on the main task that's the most important. And I think that shows Clary's strength and also the strength of the story and Cassandra, the writer, that she's able to focus on more important things for Clary.
For costume, I spoke to Gersha Phillips, our costume designer, and helped design the costume. For the stunts and everything, that was all me. I pushed myself to do that. And for like the piano stuff, that's me as well, yeah. I did it all. That was 3 days of what I can only describe as pure hell. We were stuck in a place called Hamilton. We were shooting from 9 o'clock in the evening to 9 o'clock in the morning, tired. But it was really fun, but it was the most draining part of the shoot. But you know, at the end of the day, that's the scene that looks so cool, and it's such a cool moment. So I'm happy that we managed to get it.
It's amazing. She is now maybe 18 years old. She was 16 during Mirror Mirror, and her dad is the stunt coordinator. Her name's Naomi, and she's a great friend. She's a great young girl. She is a tough cookie, and she's tiny, but she teaches me lots of moves and the confidence, and to see her surrounded by these massive men and to hold her own gave me the confidence that I could probably do whatever she could do. Not everything, but enough. And yeah, no, I always feel more confident knowing she's around.
Amar es destruir.
Yeah, there's a scene in the subway when Jace and Simon are arguing about the police and the demons, and I'm like about to faint. There was an extra added part of that scene where we're sitting down and there was one line of dialogue, but that didn't make it in.
There was one scene where we were on a subway train, and we're all sat there, and we've just come from Luke's bookshop, I think, and my character says to Jace, I go, I don't know if you've noticed, but those girls over there are staring at you. And he goes, of course they are. I'm ridiculously handsome. Or something. He goes, I'm incredibly attractive. I'm incredibilmente guapo. Yeah, no, but so that was a moment where both myself and Clary go. So that was a moment that I remember not seeing in the film. It's also like just little bits and pieces where the characters are going from one location to the next. I think to keep the pace in the film, they took out a couple of those just small bridge scenes. Nothing of huge consequence.
Sé lo que vi.
Crees que lo sabes.
¿Por qué dibujó esto?
Lo sabía, no eres un mundano.
¿Cómo dices?
I don't have the new script, so I don't know specifics, but from the books and everything, I think this is now her entrance into the Shadowhunter world, and she's not fully immersed yet, but she's definitely more open to the action sequences and to the strengths of a Shadowhunter and more of the knowledge. So I'm excited to play more into the transformation aspects.
I have an idea of what I would like already. They've gone through such a journey, both Jace and Clary, and their relationship changes so dramatically at the end of the first movie. I think ultimately I have to keep the essence of who Jace is anyway, who he's been seen as in the first movie. So I'm going to sort of just develop that a little bit more and sort of see where that goes.